Guys, Mobility Monday, Coach Joe here, back at it from BFP again. What I want to talk about today is improving mobility in your middle spine. So really this area of the spine, but of course we're going to focus on the backside. Now, where most people tend to live is in a position when they're seated, kind of like I am. But if I was sitting here not on camera right now, I'd probably be slouched over like this, which is where most people live. Because of that, they have trouble moving in the part of their spine and their trunk where they're supposed to do most of the twisting, most of the reaching across, and most of the moving from, and they get kind of stiff, or they tend to hurt their back much easier than they should. And then sometimes you get little trigger points in between your shoulder blades, and you get little pains up here in your traps and things like that, just from the tension that's related to being in a forward shoulder position kind of like this all the time. So I want to show you something quick that you can do with a foam roller. It's great to do before you work out. We love to work these in as fillers into our workouts if we're doing some type of overhead pressing. Even if you're a runner, this is a great tool to use, and this exercise I'm going to show you is a great exercise to do because oftentimes as people get really fatigued when they run, they tend to go to that forward posture as well. So we're going to work on your thoracic spine today to try to open up the chest, right, and get this back into your spine back into a neutral position. So the way we like to do that, we'll put the foam roller on its side, and I'm going to position this right below my shoulder blades on my back. Once I position this right below my shoulder blades, I'm going to go ahead and open my chest up by bringing my elbows out just like this. So I really want to open up the front of my body. And I'm going to leave my butt on the floor. And all I want you to do, keep that right below your shoulder blades, keep those elbows nice and open, is lay back slowly. And then come back up to the start position. So I'm not rolling and doing a crunch. I'm just going back until I start to feel some pressure in my mid-back, and those elbows kind of allow themselves to fall back a little bit. Now, staying in this position for a good 2 minutes can do you a lot of benefit because then it gives your arms time or your shoulders time to open up as a result of gravity pulling those elbows back. But it also is a long enough time to keep this pressure from the foam roller on the musculature of your mid-back so that it can relax. And then it gives us a long time in this opened up chest position right here as well, and a good neutral mid-spine position. Now, one little key thing about this is I go through this movement. You notice I'm not laying back, lifting my chest and arching my lower back. We don't need to move a lot from the lower back. This needs to be a good stable area to absorb forces. We can move all over the place from this middle back like I talked about. So when you do this movement, you want to limit that movement in the middle back, not here. So if I go back, feels good, and about right there is where my lower back starts to move. That's where I'm going to slow down and stop the movement right there. So I'll go about right here, come back up to the start. Lay back, come back up to the start. And the more you do this, the lower you'll probably be able to go to an extent. Now, I mentioned in between the shoulder blades, a lot of people, they get little knots or they get trigger points or pain points in between their shoulder blades as a result of their posture and their rib cage kind of running into their shoulder blades and rubbing on muscles in between and things like that. So I like to add something to this. So when I'll go through this, I like to go 5 where I'm coming back, just working on that posture for my middle spine like we talked about. Once I've done 5 of these, I'll keep that pressure on the roller. I'm going to bring my elbows together and then lift my backside up, and then I'm going to work up and dig in between my shoulder blades. So right now I'm leaning to the right just a little bit to focus on the right side of my, on the right side of my spine. So I'm not rolling directly onto my spine. That's very important. Stay off your spine. And then I'm going to shift left, and I'm going to go about 5 rolls there. Now, you can also just get up here and hold pressure. That is just as effective, if not more effective, than actually rolling back and forth. So what we talked about today, Mobility Monday, is how to open up the chest effectively and get you out of that posture that we spend so much time in with a foam roller, right? Doing thoracic extension on the foam roller and then bringing those elbows together and rolling back and forth to help work on tension and knots in between the shoulder blades. Now, doing this regularly can help you significantly reaching overhead in terms of range of motion, which can help you hit bigger lifts in here, which can keep you safer if you're in here doing Metcons or in one of our Express Fit sessions. You're a lot less likely to have a shoulder injury or to get some little tweak, some little pain in your mid-back. So I cannot recommend using a foam roller for these reasons enough. That is Mobility Monday. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to throw them in the comments below. I look forward to answering.